Shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of that body. Shalom to the 144,000. And greater multitude, the 1/3. May peace and blessings be upon your households. You know, I made a video on gradualism. A lot of, obviously, we know what Esau is doing to slowly draw you in, you know, with that saying, you know, like with that expression or saying goes about the boiling the frog, you know. If it's like boiling hot water, the frog's gonna just jump out straight away, right? If it's instant. With gradualism, as you turn up the temperature, the frog doesn't even realize it's been boiled to death. Okay, so what's the meaning of gradualism? The policy of approaching a desired end by gradual stages. The policy of approaching a desired end by gradual stages. Gradual stages, right? Okay. Now, Gen Z are pretty much have been born with a mobile phone in their hand, right? Or a cell phone. Gen X, we sort of like came into it slowly but surely, you know, like in different stages, you know. I was, so I remember VHS, CDs, of course. I bought VHS and bought CDs. I bought albums, records, you know, and then now we have everything. What? You know, you got apps for this, apps for that. You can have everything at a touch of a button on your phone. You don't have that tangible product anymore. Okay? Same with everybody using cash. You know, to the point where people don't even like carrying cash. They used to just a tap of a button, you know, because everything's traced, you know. They don't have to worry about you losing $10 or whatever. You know, everything's covered in that card. If you lose your card, it's more than likely, you know, you can be replaced, right? If nobody tries to dive into it, no thief. That's gradualism, okay? But off the back of the gradualism, you know, there's also enticements as well, right? And enticements could be, you know, is it more of a seamless world because people are already worried about how time is going fast, which it is for the elect's sake. The Lord did say that. Yahweh I said that. So time is going fast. So individuals or people out there want to save more time. So what they want to do, they want everything more seamless. Plus where you know, once a crash actually happens, that's going to be another push in that direction. And plus all this fact of also you know, cyber crime as well, right? Keeping your children safe, keeping them, you know, under electronic lock and key. You know, they could stage a couple of children going missing on a heavy scale, you know, which they already are anyway, because they're actually literally doing it, right? You know, a lot of Jake children in cages and stuff like that, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom too, you know. But they might put more emphasis on it on a more of a Hollywood scale to like push people into a corner to getting them children CHIP'd. Also now, you know, more seamless technology where the element of superpowers is added to it as well. Now, if you can control things with your mind on your phone, you know, at the thought you can do things. I mean, they're trying to mimic the Lord, really, but in the left-hand side technology. Because the elect, whoever they are, when they get them powers, they're going to be able to speak to each other through the mind anyway. But naturally, from the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Ashai on the right-hand side, Okay, and also um, more of a higher security standard. Yeah, and making things more seamless. Carrying basically, you're not worried about losing keys, money, wallets. Everything's at the touch of a button or a slide of a hand. You know, thumbprint. They start off with thumbprints, didn't they? Or face, and they're still doing face and thumb. There are different types of biometrics, but the thumbprint is, for the most part, the initial stages, right? Kind of like a gateway drug, especially when it comes to this tech stuff. And then I start scanning. You know, let's read this. Apple may be testing Elon Musk's Neuralink-like technology to allow users to control their iPhones. Actually, let's read the scripture first. Where is it? James 1 and 14. And when people are pushed into a corner as well, where they could have a seamless world, more time to do the things that they want to do as well. They don't have to worry about keys, this, down, the third, security, everything's, within them. That's why they show a lot of these movies in the future. They don't have like, cartoons or animation. They don't have pockets. Back to the Future too. In the future, they showed what people with their pockets turned inside out. And when they're paying for the taxis, I think in Back to the Future 2 with the thumbprints, that's just a little indication. Obviously, they want to take it to a stage where it'll be literally within you, and it's going to happen. And they're going to entice you as well as put you into a scary situations. James 1 and 14. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. All right, so that's how you're drawn away. Whether it's whilst times are so-called good and you're enticed by them, say, "Oh yeah, take it. This is what we're going to give you, and we'll give you an apartment and job security and all that." You're going to do it that way. Or when the actual crash happens, you're going to do it that way because you want to hold on to what you have. You're worried about your children, loved ones, because of all the people dying around you. You want to take it that way as well. Keep your children protected. All sorts of different enticements. But the elect are going to overcome that because the elect are predestined from the foundation of the earth. So the elect are going to make it no matter what. A lot of our people are going to get deleted on this side, man. A lot. A lot. Let's go back to the article, man. Okay, so this is more going towards, and this is May the 13th, 2025, right? Going towards Revelation and Revelation 13. Apple may be testing Elon Musk's Neuralink-like technology to allow users to control their iPhones. May the 13th, 2025. This is from Gadgets Now, the Times of India, right? Apple is exploring brain-computer interface technology similar to Neuralink to allow iPhone control via neural links. Collaborating with Synchron, Apple aims to enable users with disabilities like ALS to operate devices using brain implants. Okay, so that's another enticement as well for individuals that are, which I didn't touch, which is also a factor as well with people with, that are in wheelchairs, that have certain ailments, which through certain other medicines have not worked, right? Now with this technology, they can have a little bit more of a, you know, independent life instead of being, someone wiping their backside all the time, for example. You know, so this is going to be a big enticement. You know, another enticement as well, taking care of your elderly with dementia. You want to keep track of them because they keep walking out of the house. Yeah, I mean, there's many avenues many doors they can open to get people lined up again, right? But this time around, it's going to be something more serious. It's going to create that grave sore. It's going to create that sore as mentioned in the scriptures, man. That cancerous sore. Apple is reportedly, and they're using Apple as well. And Apple is like what you call like the Mercedes Benz or the Rolls Royce of the tech world. That logo, you know, the sleek workmanship of their laptops, how they look, very futuresque, so-called space-esque, right? And people, associate that. Like you see somebody's office, everything's all appled out. The screen, you know, uh, the huge screen is all lit up and everything. The nice keyboard, all the other little gadgets and trinkets that come along with that. With bells and whistles and all that. And it's all Apple. It does look kind of sleek, doesn't it? You know. So even like brand, the brands know what they're doing, man. All right. And plus, it's regarding the Adam and Eve fact as well. I'm not going to say a story because it actually happened. Well, the story, which actually happened, right? Wasn't Eve deceived? Right. This is representing deception, right? Not that she ate a literal apple. She took on the doctrine, right? Okay, of wanting to learn evil. Paraphrasing. So this is basically them trying to say to you indirectly, you know, this technology is here, and if you want it, you can take it. But then they eventually can try and force you to take it. But they're saying that it's for your greater good, but really they're deceiving you. So they're basically this is just a deception. They're saying basically that they're trying to say, yeah, we're lying to you in your face. You know, you might think it's great, but it's not going to be so great afterwards. And they show you in movies all the time, man. Perfect movie to watch for that is I think it's called Upgrade. You know, they show you the guy who's had a normal life, and then he was put into a wheelchair for certain, from a situation, and then after that, somebody enticed him with the CHIP. All right, let's read a little bit more into this. Apple is reportedly testing technology similar to Elon Musk's Neuralink that will allow users to control their iPhones with their brains. This technology will help the Cupertino-based tech giant enable iPhone users to control their devices using neural signals captured by brain implants. A report claims with this technology, Apple could improve accessibility for individuals unable to use their hands. See? Accessibility. The ones who can't use their hands due to severe spinal cord injuries or diseases like amyotro- amo- amyotrophic lateral hands due to severe spinal cord injuries or diseases like, I just read that, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Salakia. Diseases like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. This became possible after implants from companies like Muskie's Neuralink received FDA Food and Drug Administration approval. Drug Administration. That should let you know the sincerity, you know. I go to the scripture in Job. They're the forgers of lies. They are physicians of no value, right? See? Deception, FDA, physicians of no value. Pretending to heal you, but really it's for your, not your greater good, your greater destruction. But this is the Lord's charamga, all right? In January, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO announced Neuralink has successfully implanted its device in a third patient, in third patient, in third patient, in third patient, or in a third patient. These implants, known as brain-computer interfaces, have already been safely placed in some patients. How Apple brain implant technology will work for iPhone users. According to a report by Wall Street Journal, this capability will allow Apple devices to detect user intentions, decode brain signals. Okay, they've collaborated with a company called Synchron. Apple took a similar step in 2014 by launching a technology standard for hearing aids to communicate with iPhones. Yeah, hearing aids is another enticing. Yeah, it's another, see, gradualism. Having things on your ears, then things on your head, things in your hand, having gadgets attached to you, then eventually in you, right? I mean, I guess it started off even prior to that with the headphones, old school headphones in the 80s. See, gradualism to the point they're going to have that inside your brain, right? Or in your hand. The rest is just technology jargon. Yeah, but this is what they're doing, man. It's May right now. June is coming. Let's see what happens in June. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You know, if you don't bow down to them and their ways and their God, you know, on the left hand side, and take this charamga, you won't take it or worship them. If you take it, you know, you are worshiping. But the ones that wouldn't take it, you know, they want to, you know, delete it. They haven't got all these, what do you call them, guillotines for no reason, you know, all these guillotines that have been coming into the States, you know, all these detention center type situations, new buildings being built up. Okay, starts with, you know, concentration, CAMPS. All right, in different parts of Europe, UK, America. All right, there for a reason, you know. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, a charamga. You go to the blue letter, the blue letter Bible. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, a mark, a charamga, incision. Okay, and we've seen that in real time here, man. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. May the 13th, 2025. We've been seeing it. They've been talking about it, and they keep talking about it, talking about it, talking about it, talking about it, even more and more and more. And it's coming into fruition, the spirit power of Yahweh Shai, because this is the Lord's charamga. Okay, because the Lord controls the right and the left. Isaiah 45, verse 7. The Lord controls the good and the bad. All right, good and evil. The Lord creates peace and evil. All right. And they've been talking about it, showing movies, cartoons, joking about it. Movies made in the 80s, showing people in the future using thumbprints, scanning their hands. Those are all, it's all gradualism, to the point where they're talking about it even more and more and more. And this is going to come into reality, and it is becoming reality in a lot of countries. And it's just, you know, not long where the whole world will be lined up very soon to take it. And there's various enticements they're going to put on the table until they eventually try and force you if you don't bow down. Right? Because people don't want to take the charamga, the incision in the flesh. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. 666. All right. That's how you're going to buy and sell. That's going to be the new currency. All right. You're the currency. You'll be walking around with it. Okay, because once the system crashes, which it is, because the money isn't worth anything, it's not money anyway. It's fiat currency. They're going to force everybody to take it. You can see major brands are getting involved. All right, then everybody else that's as one, for example, if one shoe company starts making a particular type of shoe, other people come out with their own renditions. Same way Apple is doing it, other brands are going to start coming out with it, and people are going to start lining up to take it. All right, so it's coming. There you go. Check it out yourself. May the 30th, 2025. Anyway, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shai.